Hey. So we're back on this module to talk a little bit about your perspective on yourself. What does that look like? I thought this was so funny. For years, my husband lived, Steve, with a perspective on himself. And as we had babies together, and I would watch different characteristics come out of them, and which of their characteristics belonged to him, which were mine, and which I didn't know because they weren't mine, but he didn't show characteristics of them. That's when I started saying, my dear, I think it's a myth that you were told you were big boned. And he was like, but he may not have been quite so dramatic about it. But the fact is, he definitely was a little surprised at this new information. And he wanted to know why. And I was like, well, if you notice some of our children, we have some of them who are actually quite limber and small. And none of our children are big boned. None of them. That isn't a characteristic that apparently exists. I think it's an overall myth. But even if it's true, it doesn't mean you're going to be fat. Even if you have a family history of large in stature, it doesn't mean being fat. So one of the key things that I noticed about the fact that he wasn't big boned was his nose. He has this very petite, very thin nose, narrow, and not in a bad way, just cute. He has a cute nose. And I was like, I don't know how anyone big boned could have such a cute nose. So I thought I'd mention it to him. So that started having him switch the way he viewed himself, because he started thinking, well, if Jenny thinks this of me, is it true? And what am I going to do with all the years of belief that I was big boned? That I just was going to fit into whatever size my family was. So you might think that, and you might pursue it. I will tell you that I mostly really seek out to influence the women of a home more than anyone else, because I think the health of the family primarily rides on how healthy mom is. And when mom doesn't feel good and mom lets her rules slide, if there is not already a foundation set up for the family to continue in healthy principles for success, everything slides. So consider what is in your pantry today. And does that pantry illustrate a belief that you've had for years about your body image, about what you've been told about your body? And is that belief true? Or is there a possibility that belief was just placed on you and you've been playing the recording for all these years? Give it a try. Look in your cupboards and see what happens.